In a tale that defies both time and the cruel fetters of history, one Ethiopian man, once enslaved in the distant lands of India, shatters all expectations to ascend to the throne. His saga is a remarkable journey from chains to royalty, powered by ingenuity, resilience, and an indomitable spirit. Born Chapa, later known as Shembu, in the Ethiopian region of Harar around 1546, his life was overturned when he was enslaved by Arab traders and shipped to Yemen, and eventually to Baghdad. Unlike many African men who were brutally castrated during their time in bondage, Chapa was spared this horrific fate. Under the stewardship of a nobleman, Qazi Hussein, Chapa was given the Islamic name Ambar. Struck by Ambar's impressive intellect, multilingual skills, and acute capabilities in reflection and memorization, Hussein mentored him in the arts of administration and finance. However, the winds of fate had more trials in store for Ambar. At the age of 22, he was sold again, this time finding himself in India. There, under the mentorship of Chinggis Khan, an Ethiopian-descended prime minister of the southern Indian state of Ahmednagar, Ambar underwent rigorous military training. Due to his exceptional intellectual and physical prowess, Ambar rose through the ranks to become the highest-ranking Ethiopian or Habashi soldier in Ahmednagar. And so, a man born into enslavement, who journeyed through different continents and countless adversities, would become a powerful military figure in a foreign land. His is a story not just of survival, but of a spectacular, unparalleled ascent to power. In another twist of fate worthy of an epic, Ambar's life took another dramatic turn, when his benefactor, Chinggis Khan, passed away. However, this time round, he seized destiny by its reins. Ambar assembled an army of mercenaries, hardened fighters willing to lend their swords to the highest bidder in a land threatened by powerful adversaries. The Mughals, rulers of northern India, had set their eyes on the southern states, eager to expand their empire. But they hadn't counted on meeting a force like Ambar. Commanding his mercenaries with unparalleled skill and daring, he not only defended the southern territories but also became a legend in his own right. It wasn't long before people began to equate his military prowess to that of a king, bestowing upon him the title of Malik, the Arabic word for king. Ambar, now Malik Ambar, had become the linchpin in the resistance against the Mughal expansion. His reputation spread like wildfire, drawing young men eager for glory and spoils to his ever-growing army. The year 1595 saw another astonishing chapter in Malik Ambar's story. His mercenary army was integrated into the national forces of Ahmednagar, just as the Mughals, hell-bent on conquest, encircled the beleaguered capital. Most would have considered the situation dire, if not hopeless. But not Malik Ambar. Executing a daring escape, he led his men through enemy lines and reclaimed Ahmednagar, turning the tables on the would-be conquerors. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir did indeed harbor a deep-rooted vendetta against Malik Ambar. So much so, that he famously commissioned a painting that depicted him shooting an arrow at a decapitated head of Malik Ambar, a striking symbol of the emperor's intense animosity, and his desire to end Ambar's life. For Jahangir, Malik Ambar was not just an adversary, he was an affront to his royal ego, a constant reminder of his own failures to conquer the south. Every defeat at the hands of this brilliant military tactician deepened the gashes in Jahangir's pride, each one an indelible mark on his imperial legacy. His dreams were haunted by the elusive figure of Ambar, gallant and defiant, always just out of reach of his arrows and swords. In a moment of zealous aspiration or perhaps utter frustration, Jahangir did something extraordinary. He summoned his court painter, an artist skilled in capturing the emperor's fantasies on canvas. With intricate brushstrokes, the painter immortalized Jahangir's deepest desire, a painting showing the emperor himself, bow in hand, releasing an arrow toward the decapitated head of Malik Ambar. Although Jahangir never did fulfill his dream of defeating Malik Ambar in life, that vivid painting remains an eerie footnote in the annals of history, a quiet acknowledgement of Ambar's indomitability. While the Mughal emperor could command artists to capture his dreams, he couldn't command fate to deliver Malik Ambar into his hands. But he wasn't done. Amidst political strife and succession quarrels within Ahmednagar, Malik Ambar saw his chance. He craftily installed himself as the regent, marrying his daughter off to a puppet heir. The masterstroke came when he placed a 3-year-old prince on the throne, a figurehead with no real power. The message was clear: the true ruler of Ahmadnagar was none other than Malik Ambar. In a display of unparalleled vision, Malik Ambar shifted his focus from the battlefield to a new arena: construction and civil engineering. Not just a master tactician but also a dreamer, he established a new capital named Kudki, which would later be known as Aurangabad. It wasn't just any city, it was a masterpiece waiting to be sketched onto the fabric of the land. He adorned his new capital with grand gates, towering fortifications, and awe-inspiring architecture that echoed the elegance of his own journey. However, like any worthy quest, this one too had its dragons. The city faced a water crisis. Undeterred, Malik Ambar turned his eyes north to the mountains, devising a plan as audacious as any military campaign. An intricate network of aqueducts would tap into the underground reservoirs, a solution that drew raised eyebrows and skeptical whispers. Yet, in just 15 months and with remarkably low expenditures, the city's thirst was quenched. The Nair system of aqueducts would stand as his most enduring monument, an engineering marvel that demonstrated his brilliance in more ways than one. But let's not forget, Malik Ambar was a warrior at heart. Through cunning alliances with Europeans, he armed his forces with cutting-edge artillery, enhancing his military prowess. Employing both modern weaponry and guerrilla tactics, he continued to frustrate and defeat the Mughal overlords. By the end of his life, his army had swelled to a staggering 50,000 soldiers, of whom 10,000 were Habashi warriors like himself. Malik Ambar passed away in 1626 at the age of 80, but not before becoming a legend that extended far beyond the boundaries of southern and central India. Though he was succeeded by his son, his true legacy was an indelible imprint on a region, a people, and an era. Even today, his memory is a pulse that runs through the city of Aurangabad. While traditional Indian history might choose to overlook his magnificence, the legend of Malik Ambar is indomitable, much like the man himself. He stands as a testimony to what can be achieved when one dares to dream beyond their circumstances, a tale that echoes through time, refusing to be silenced.